I presented to Fresh, I said, there's a woman in your life that if she came on the show describing you to you, you would say she's capping. You would call her a gold digger. You would say the worst things about her. But because she's with you and you love her, she's the exception to the rule. Y'all are preaching the ideology. You being with her goes against it. Because you can't call other bitches a gold digger when she qualifies for the same thing. And I told him, I said, listen, or if you want to be a walking contradiction, do not bring it to camera. Don't bring it to camera. You shouldn't want to bring this to, don't let your audience see you being a hypocrite. You're always going to get exposed if you're faking the.
Y'all burn females for having kids for choosing the wrong guy. Is she pregnant? Is Fresh with everything he is, good and bad, now the wrong guy to choose? No, guys, what I'm telling you is that her pregnancy is questionable. She's lied a million times before, and she went ahead and recorded a phone call conversation for clout.
Here's the thing. In this world, it's either pimp or be pimped.
Hey guys, welcome back to Liminal Period. It's your girl, Chun-Li Shadi, and today I want to do a follow-up video on Fresh's pregnancy allegation. I wanted to focus on this story because I think it perfectly demonstrates and show how the toxic masculine mindset can be really damaging. I think that this mindset can be very toxic, especially for young men who are still impressionable and still trying to find their way. There's been a number of times that Fresh and Fit have both been confronted with how toxic this mindset can be, and time again, they've defended it. Yes, you can believe whatever you want to believe. However, when you present yourself as an educator and you're also profiting from young men consuming this extreme mindset.
We can arm guys with the tools.
What is that, dog? That's what I'm saying. Your views are very black and white. You're too old to be thinking like this.
Word. Amen. Well, we can have different worldviews, but if we look at it, it's pimp or be pimp, baby. So I'd rather equip the guys with the tools so they can go out there and navigate the dating marketplace in a way where they won't get finessed.
You don't think that's a dangerous
Who's
mindset
getting
for the world
pimped
to
now?
have?
Did I pimp my wife?
Maybe there's experiences you've had and being in a fucked up dating scene like Miami, right? And we know it could get wild, especially if you're going to like these types of parties. You got a lot of girls that are like literally paid to be there. And they might be paid to do other stuff as well. So if you're interacting with these girls, I can understand how you like grow a little bit of fucking resentment. You're like, where are the good girls at?
There's no resentment, man. It's just awareness. And I know it might come off that way, but it's just merely just being aware of what's going on, adapting to the situation, and making the best move that's going to not put you in a compromising position. Because we've heard so many terrible stories from guys making mistakes, etc. with women, that's come back and really bit them in the ass. Saying, I'm not
and now
saying,
it's
guys,
in real life.
all these girls are terrible. Oh my God. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm simply telling guys,
Be
especially
aware.
guys that have something to lose, that got money, that got, status or whatever it is, just play defensive, because like you have a lot more to lose when you get in a relationship with a girl, especially if you're getting married in today's day and age with the way the divorce courts are set up, family court,
Don't
etc.
I know it?
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying is that I want guys to go in with their eyes wide open and understand that you don't want to get into a contract necessarily with someone that's incentivized to break it. And that's what marriage is now.
Be honest, have an honest conversation. And I don't think the manosphere or maniverse or whatever, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there are people who are doing it really well. I'm saying there's room in and I don't have a problem with a lot of the stuff you say. I just think there is room for growth. And you guys' refusal to acknowledge it almost kind of proves it to me, confirms it to me that you guys are not willing to grow right now. And that's fine. That's some ego shit. We're just saying there's room for growth. A very mature answer is, yeah, probably. If you say that to me, I'm sure I got room to grow. Y'all are literally saying, nah, we know how it is. We're in Miami. We're just asking you to look and take an assessment of what you say and what you spread and be like, okay, maybe there's room for growth. And y'all ain't willing to do that for an hour and a half.
I mean, I truly feel that
That's your opinion, bro.
that's your opinion.
See what I'm saying?
I don't care.
What we
You
say
guys
is
have a platform. You say whatever you want.
Like I said before.
And that little back and forth was actually on the Andrew Schultz Flagrant channel. I'm going to link it down in the description below. But they went back and forth with Akash trying to hold them accountable for this ideology that they have. And it's just pushback, 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 pushback. Like, you can't even reflect, Myron. And I know, again, I keep saying that this is how Fresh and Fit feels, but we're always hearing from Myron. But Fresh has no contribution, but he is co-signing this because he is benefiting monetarily by the messaging. Okay. So again, you guys do not live the messaging that you preach.
Fresh fucked up, right? He made a mistake. He shouldn't have messed with this girl in the first place. This girl's a predator.
So this is from their most recent podcast where Myron was on there by himself the whole time. Like, yes, we understand that Fresh fucked up. Like, thank you so much for admitting that. Thank you. But now what? Now what? It's like that's the conversation that they're unwilling to have and unwilling to focus on. Like a couple of people in my comments even say, oh, well, that girl lied and she's a scammer and she's this and she's that. Go watch him expose her. He has receipts. I don't care. I don't care. You literally went on the Flagrant podcast 2 years ago just saying that you are warning men to go into these situations with their eyes wide open. Like, Myron, do you ever sit down and have conversations with just Walter? Do you guys ever just have like, bro, heart to heart, like real talk, what you're doing is stupid? Or are you just waiting until the fucking aftermath and then having to address it publicly?
Times when you're a guy, you got some money, you got some status, etc. Girls will try to use you, right? Thank God he saw the red flags and cut it.
Not fast enough.
Man, like when we're so locked in our bubbles, man, oftentimes it's like we attract the things that we talk about. I don't mean that in terms of some secret shit, but like the girls that are probably gonna hit y'all up
and
are
want to
not
be on the
gonna
podcast
and want to be on the podcast, and not even like even the girls who are like, it's fucked up what you guys say. Like, I'm so different. Like, let's go hang out. Yeah. They're also trying to find their emotional comfort zone, right? Their preference also. They believe they deserve a guy who has the feelings you have about them.
Fresh is an idiot. Okay, I had this conversation with him off air. I told him, this girl is bad news. This is, you know, what the hell are you doing? Having sex with this girl, etc., unprotected, whatever. Let's just call a spade a spade. He made a big mistake rocking with this girl, hanging out with her, etc., right? So they've spent about, I'd say, roughly 15 to 20 days together, right? Cumulatively. During the course of this time, there were a bunch of red flags that Fresh noticed that made him say, you know what, I don't know if I can take this girl seriously. Number one.
So you noticed, but you proceeded.
There was a guy in Las Vegas. As you guys know, we go to Las Vegas all the time to do, you know, Access Vegas, etc. We'll actually be there tomorrow, okay? And when we were out there, a photographer had said, oh, I know her. And he didn't say anything bad. However, when Fresh mentioned to her that someone in Vegas knew her, she got really nervous and scared. Number two, she has 3 phones, okay? 3. He saw, towards the end of the relationship, and what made him kind of say, I don't want to deal with this girl anymore, was he saw random conversations with 4 numbers unsaved on one of her phones, okay? When they came back from Barbados, they were stopped by customs. They interviewed her for 2 hours, guys, okay? When she was being held at customs. You guys know I used to work for Immigration and Customs Enforcement as an investigator for Homeland Security Investigations. And normally when they detain you at the airport like that, something is going on. And they detained her for 2 hours, and she showed pictures of her and Fresh together, etc. More than likely, what I'm suspecting, I don't know this for a fact, but for them to detain her for 2 hours. Remember, guys, she's a foreign national. She's Chinese. She's here on a visitor visa, which she's admitted on other podcasts, by the way, which is typically a B1, B2 visa. They probably think that she's here working illegally or maybe doing some kind of sex work, which we're going to get into that as well, okay? We don't know for a fact, but for them to hold you at the border like that tells me something.
A reminder for those who are keeping up with the dates, but they came back from Barbados, I believe the 12th. They went over there March 9th, stayed for 3 days, came back the 12th. They were still together until the end of March. So he realized that that was a red flag, that she's texting random numbers, you're getting stopped at the border, and then you continue to move her in and stay with her and raw dog it for 2 weeks. Why don't you tell the full story? You keep talking about you want to show context, and you made a mistake for 2 weeks. Like, I'm not saying that you can't continue to vet her, you can't continue to date her and decide whether or not those are actually red flags. But why didn't you just wrap it up until you confirmed that she was a girl that you would want to accidentally impregnate?
Then, after Fresh cut the relationship off with her, she finally admitted that she had sugar daddies in the past. She took off to New York right away, right? And she didn't. And we'll show an Instagram picture right now, actually, real fast, of when she took off. So she goes, after Fresh told her, "Hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't intend on marrying you." And
she took off the 26th of March.
This all started, guys, because she wanted an apartment, and Fresh said no, right? And she so she leaves abruptly, and she drops the Instagram story saying bye, going to find a better life, right? As she's getting on a plane to go back to New York, and she's been in New York since, right? She left on or about, I want to say March 26th, I think is the day that she left, March 26th. So they get back. So the timeline, again, November 21st they meet, okay? They hang out again December 28th to January 10th for a period of time. Then from March 9th to the 24th. He basically breaks up with her a day or two after they get back, after they're back in Barbados here in Miami, says, hey, I don't want to get you the apartment.
No, not a day or two, not a day or two, not a day or two. You guys came back from Barbados on the 12th. She didn't leave till the 26th. That's a week or two, not a day or two, Myron. So that means Fresh was still raw dogging it for 2 weeks, from the 12th until the 26th.
Like long term, because she wanted a serious relationship. So she gets on a plane and leaves on the 26th, right? But I just wanted to give you guys the relationship, okay? So that's how they met. That's how long they've hung out with each other and known each other. Though they've known each other since November, cumulatively speaking, okay, they only spent roughly between 15 to 20 days actually hanging out with each other and speaking to each other. And during the course of them meeting and hanging out with each other, Fresh is vetting her. He's testing her, he's asking her questions, etc. And she failed the test.
When you're in the process of vetting, I recommend that you don't raw dog, okay? I know that's very enticing and a lot of people want to indulge in that. But if you have so much to lose, then perhaps when you are vetting, don't raw dog. Yeah? Can you get on board with that?
Right? She failed the test. These are a couple of the red flags that he noticed while he was hanging out with her in person that made him say, I can't commit to this girl. I can't take this girl seriously. Mind you, he was doing his thing and he had other women as well, which is something that she was also angry about during this whole situation. So there we go. Now that we have an idea of the relationship, let's get into the other elephant in the room, okay? We talked about the first elephant in the room with the relationship and Fresh being an idiot, which he is. Let's just be honest here. He made a big fucking mistake. And it is what it is. You know, guys make mistakes. No one is perfect. But this one was a big one. And we got to take accountability for that. He fucked up here, right?
They're accusing me for being escort and being on this kind of website. Just use the brand. If I'm a Miss Asia and I'm a former bodybuilder, why would I put myself on the internet? On
It doesn't make sense.
Escort website. That is
No, it doesn't make sense. We even one thing that I didn't.
Okay, so he says, yeah, doesn't make sense. I don't believe it. Yeah, you're not. Now let's go ahead and play our favorite YouTubers here. Because, and it's interesting because these guys were so quick to try to use this as content to make us look bad. They didn't properly vet this girl, but it's okay. I'm going to do it for them.
Want to hit pause because you guys didn't do proper vetting prior to bringing her on to your podcast in January. You didn't do proper vetting prior to busting a nut in her. You didn't do prior vetting prior to introducing her to your family in Barbados in March. So no, don't sit here and try to discount what someone has to say. It doesn't matter how long it took them to vet her or not. Okay, because again, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day who is in the wrong in this situation. But this entire podcast, all Myron was trying to do is cover. So no, if you guys couldn't vet her in the 4 months that you were raw dogging her, get off of other people's ass on how long it took for them to try and expose you, because at the end of the day, it's not really even about exposing you. It's exposing how fraudulent you guys are. It's not exposing your personal life. It's just the fact that you cannot preach what you preach and live the way you live and monetize off of it.
No, because since they want to bring this girl on and platform her, etc., but they don't know the real Daisy Chen. They don't know Jin Chen. But I know
you didn't know her.
I'm gonna make you guys very familiar with her as well. We're all going to know Jin Chen when this is done. Let's play their clip now.
That I would interview the woman in question at the heart of this whole thing. She provided me a bunch of screenshots, screen recordings, and a bunch of different things. And I think it answered a lot of the questions that would have seemed to be unanswered before. Things like whether or not she's a sex worker. She isn't. What was the time?
Okay. Abba.
You stupid.
You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to show it right now. So she...
And again, this aired earlier this week. You had her on your podcast, and both you and Fresh defended her when callers were saying that she is a sex worker. When people were exposing her, you guys were playing defense. So how is anyone supposed to just know that she is a sex worker or not? So again, you're trying to debunk what Abba and Preach have to say, but what they're saying is based off of what you're saying.
Let's go ahead, and she said she's not a sex worker. She's not an escort. Okay. What's this? In this photo that you guys can see here, we can see Jin Chen meeting up with a potential client. Like I said before.
And I'm going to skip this part because you guys can find it on Rumble and whatever. It really doesn't matter.
This is what happened. So I just want to ask you guys one thing, right? So obviously we've went through who this woman is, Daisy Chen, aka her real name. I'm going to call her Jen for the rest of the show. Jin Chen. Okay, Jen, we know who you really are now. You're involved with escorting, potentially, right? Allegedly. Well, we saw the video, right? We know that you stole money from somebody. ran away with it, basically robbed the guy. We know that you can't hold a job. You got fired from stealing money from that company as well, having inappropriate relations, etc. A criminal, which I've proven to you guys, that's pretty much on the run from China in the U.S.
But Fresh fucked her.
Doing a bunch of stupid shit. They will interview her for views. And these guys preach integrity. Hilarious. Hilarious. Continue on. I'm going to preach, claim integrity, but they don't have any. I wonder if they're going to make an apology video after this. Nope. They just lie on people, give bottom feeder reaction content.
Do you guys think that Fresh and Fit will do a video apologizing and Fresh hold himself accountable? And I don't mean just admit it, but accountability also require responsibility. It requires actions and follow up. What are you going to do as far as the consequences? Are you going to step up, be a dad? Are you going to marry her? Are you guys going to go through with a public abortion? Like, what is it? It can't just end with, yeah, Fresh fucked up. Yeah, now what? Look at her. Look at her. Look at them. Look at her. No. Look at you. Let's look at you. Let's look at the platform that you guys have built. Let's look at the messaging that you guys have been teaching. Let's dissect that bitch.
Says, is she a sex worker that reflects poorly on Fresh? Makes him an idiot for having unprotected sex with her. Yeah. I ain't gonna, bro, I told y'all already at the top of the show that he's an idiot for that. You know, obviously this information came after the fact, right? We found out about this. Right
That's a lie.
After, he already had been done with her and all this stuff kind of blew up. And we got the real deal. But, you know, thankfully he got rid of her before then, obviously not early enough. What I'm saying is we need to look at the character of this woman. Is she actually telling the truth about this pregnancy? It's questionable. Very questionable. What else we got here?
Why does her character matter when it didn't matter when he was busting a nut in her? Why does it matter now? The truth is the truth, and the truth will come out.
He goes, W Myron, W Bills, W Big Mo. That Reddit caller who called a couple months and called out Fresh for his chick is looking like a god right now for being spot on about this girl. I don't recall that call, but that's fine.
He said he doesn't recall, and maybe some of the viewers don't recall. So I'm going to remind you. I found it. You know, honestly, I only clipped a part of it because it was almost an hour long of this young guy trying to expose Fresh and Fit and show how much he's a hypocrite.
Fine. I mean, bro, yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
6731, you're up. 6731, you are up.
Go ahead.
What's up, man?
6731.
Can you hear me?
We got you.
Okay, great. So I have a few prepared points that, you know, highlight some contradictions between what you say and what you actually do. So this is not meant as hate. I know I put hate in the thing to get your attention, but it's not hate. It's accountability. None of what I say will be personal attacks, and these are actions or behaviors you have committed that contradict with men's.
Are you on? Are you a Reddit guy? Real quick, are you a Reddit guy?
Yeah, I'm from Reddit.
What's your username? Why'd you hit him?
Mind you, this was months ago.
What's your username on there?
I like it because it's going to prove my point eventually. So thank you. You're just giving me ammunition.
Yeah.
But
what's your
My name is Eventual Warlord. Okay, so I'll get through it. So Fresh, I'll start off with Fresh. You met Miranda, a girl who made TikToks about her hatred for men and how to finesse them, after having asked her out multiple times, and she rejected your advances and said she was busy. However, suspiciously, once you invited her on a yacht, she suddenly had time for you and finally accepted your date. Despite only knowing her for a very short time, you claimed on the pod with DJ Academics that she likes me for me and she was attracted to my game, even though the evidence is clear that she did not. This is 4K proof that your actions contradicted the red pill message you preach, yet in the past, when pressed on this, you refused to admit this. So I can go to the next point, or you can comment on that if you want.
So do you know the full backstory?
I know enough, yeah.
Okay, so two things are wrong there, right? You're saying
Fresh and Fit always love to ask, do you know the full context? Bro, like, you were already exposed with Miranda. Fit has also been exposed in the past with Miss Cheeks, Anna Quinn. Okay, like, you guys have been exposed numerous times. So it really doesn't matter about the character specifically about Daisy Chen. This is what y'all dudes do.
that on some level, randomly.
Everything I said was what you said on the DJ Academics podcast. So if it's wrong, that means you lied.
About what?
Everything.
What I stated was
Y'all be lying, man.
Academics podcast. So if you're saying I said something wrong, that means you lied because I'm using your exact words.
The Blind Archer says, y'all burn females for having kids for choosing the wrong guy. Is she pregnant? Is fresh with everything he is, good and bad, now the wrong guy to choose? No, guys, what I'm telling you is that her pregnancy is questionable. She's lied a million times.
The question is, are you guys saying that Fresh is the wrong type of guy? Because this is the type of women that you guys say choose wrong. And your answer is no. No, like it's very clear that yes, he was the wrong type of guy for her to lay down with. She was the wrong type of woman for him to lay down with. Point blank, period. I don't understand why y'all can't just say yes. Y'all keep trying to make it sound like it was an accident. It's not a fucking accident when it's 4 months of raw dogging. Even if it was cumulatively 20 days, it was 20 days too many.
Is Fresh with everything he is, good and bad, now the wrong guy to choose? No, guys, what I'm telling you is that her pregnancy is questionable. She's lied a million times before, and she went ahead.
Doesn't matter if it's questionable. He's still the wrong guy.
But the caller who found her on escort site realized this way sooner than you guys. And did you turn a blind eye, or did you believe it was actually BS? This does that mean when you said her family is rich, she just sell you guys that lie as well? Okay, so guys, the website that you're talking about that they showed, that isn't really her profile. It's not. Someone used her photos in it. That's not hers. Because what she really did was she would use SA to do it. She wouldn't use that website that the guy pointed out. Someone used her photos. This is a savage life. W. Myron and loyalties. Crazy amount of people have made bad conclusions. Reaction channels that haven't done so in the past. The truth is consistent. Some people's faith aren't. Great work, man. No, I appreciate it, bro. Like I said, this is not to absolve Fresh of responsibility here. Yes, he fucked up, guys. Yes, he absolutely fucked up by dealing with this girl. You know, but hey, this could happen to anyone, guys.
But this could happen to anyone. It was a mistake. He fucked up. No. What is the resolution? What is it? Don't stop. Don't keep butting it, and don't keep trying to refocus and deflect over to Daisy. My guy, like, you are literally professional deflector.
Important, right? To look at the individual who's making the accusations and look at their character.
It's important for young men to look at the characteristic of the people that they are following and listening to.
Is this person truthful? And the reality is, I've shown y'all. Then we'll close out here, guys. I truly believe that she is lying about the pregnancy. All the markers are there. But if she is and Fresh is the father, he should not be the face of FNF or the manosphere just networking. Like I said before, it's very questionable that she's pregnant, guys.
Questionable, but what? Are you going to remove him or no? Like, stop making it question. And if it is questionable, let's get a DNA test. Let's go to the doctors together. Make it a live stream. Put it on Patreon. Let's do it. Let's see if she really is pregnant. Stop trying to put doubt out there when the question of the pregnancy is not the issue. The issue is he raw dog a girl that he does not want to marry or be with. That's the question. It's not about character at this point anymore. Y'all are all fucked up.
I think anyone that was pregnant and intending to keep the baby as she's claiming would go through all this. It's weird. What does that say about you as a mother? Mm-hmm. Like if she were actually pregnant, the kid were to come and be born, like, he's gonna have videos of his mom doing this stupid shit.
And he's gonna have videos of his dad and his uncle talking crazy about how he should have been aborted, talking shit about his mom, trying to expose his mom. So I really hope that she isn't pregnant if you're talking this crazy, Myron. Like, you literally didn't have to go on podcasts and do this. Like, you really didn't. You could have just kept your mouth shut, just like Fresh is doing, just like the lawyer advised. But no, you decide to go do this. And now this child is going to have evidence if this child is even here or there or in existence, if this pregnancy is real.
I don't know. I think at best it's questionable. What else do we got? Goku the Goat. Myron, you make it Fresh look worse. You guys said parents got money and she was not escort. Both sides lied and Fresh busted an escort. That caller was right. Yeah, it is what it is, man. People can make mistakes, man. Like I said, that was
it's a mistake. It is what it is.
Like, at that point, and obviously, if people on the internet are attacking a girl that you're seeing, right, you're gonna come to defend her. He did what a guy should do. He defended the girl that he was seeing at the time. Now, obviously, we've come to find out that it was a lie, but she lied to everybody. She lied to everybody. I mean, you wouldn't have found this information out either. Bro, she did all her dirt in China. All right, the pick me and I stay with you guys. A girl cropped an ultrasound of Google to say she was pregnant by me. Luckily, I had someone tell me how dumb I was. It didn't have the name or time of day she came in. Woo. Yeah, bro, this is what happens. Because, look, as y'all remember, a girl 3 years ago tried to say that I got her pregnant. Like, this happens, man. This happens.
Miss
Like,
Cheeks.
It's almost inevitable that if you got some money or you got some status or whatever, a girl's gonna come and lie and say that you got me pregnant. It just
So this happened to you 3 years ago. This happened to Fresh not too long ago. I'm going to link Abba and Preach's video because it does show clips of when he was talking about a Hail Mary with a girl who he got pregnant. Okay, so how many times do you guys have to fuck up and continue to excuse yourself of this mistake, because this could have happened to anyone, for you guys to figure out that maybe you guys aren't the ones to be educating young men on how to move around in the dating world? Because obviously you guys can't even talk to each other enough to avoid this situation. Like, honestly, like, if you had one pregnancy fuck up between the both of you guys within the 5 years that you guys have been on air, awesome, cool, whatever. We all make mistakes. Use it as a learning lesson. But 3 times, my guy, like 3? Are you for real? And this is what your channel is supposed to be helping young men avoid? 3 times and you're out. This is it. Like, that's why I say y'all need to you guys need to reassess who you're following.
It happens, man. I went through this 3 years ago, right? Obviously, she lied, right? There's no kid to be seen. She never got an abortion and nothing, like, because she was never pregnant in the first place. These girls lie, bro. Y'all really believe her? Especially now that I've exposed the things that she was involved in the past? Her credibility is shot at this point. Completely shot.
Your credibility is shot.
I think you guys are genuinely like nice dudes that got fucked over by like bad women, like in your life maybe, that like came in and like finessed you and like fucked you guys over. And my fear would be that your audience of people that really trust you and look up to you would then learn, you're teaching them how to go down a path to be defensive and scared of women, and then they could potentially finesse and fuck over other women that were innocent, had nothing to do with it, and then they become the women that you're talking about.
Yep. Well, we're not okay, just correct.
And I don't know if that's the case. I don't really consume a ton of your content, but that would be my fear. And I guess hopefully in the future, if that's the case,
we're not scared. We haven't been hurt. It's more like we understand the dangers of dating women, and we want guys to know, look, just look for these things so you don't get finessed. That's the biggest thing, because if you don't know going into it, you're gonna be like, yeah, she loves me for me. Probably not. So it's like, okay, no, understand who you are, what you want.
Why wouldn't she love you for you? You're great, bro.
Andrew.
Hey, bro.
Stop the cap, bro. Stop the cap.
Hey,
You know what it sounds?
See, that's the thing. It's like the conversation that we're having today is the same. It's the same conversation that Andrew Schultz had with these guys 2 years ago. It's like we're going to continue to have these conversations until actions change, until mindsets change. So as you guys can see, this conversation has been going on and on for the last several years. And of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. However, I think it's more important for us to start focusing on the solutions and looking at the potential consequences that might arrive from these mindsets. Anyways, I enjoyed having this conversation today, and I hope I speak with you guys again soon. Bye.